Courtship is a period of two different people coming together to find agreement before getting married. The Bible says, can two walk together except they be agreed? What many couples are suffering in marriage today are things they never settled in courtship. Courtship is the discussion room. Marriage is the execution room.
Anything not discussed early will be fought over later. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house.
Courtship is preparation. Marriage is building. It's a season meant for prayers, discovery, laughter, deep conversations, and understanding hearts. But many people rush past that season and later pay for it with tears. If you desire a peaceful home, a safe marriage, and a love that understands you deeply, then you are in the right place. Please subscribe to this channel, like this video, and walk this journey with us as we save hearts, restore wisdom, and protect marriages before they break. Let's dive into IT. Courtship is God's wisdom for building peace before building a home. It is the season where two destinies learn how to walk as one without rivalry, confusion, or pride. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Amos 3:3. Courtship teaches how to dwell together wisely, that they may be one, even as we are one. John 17:21. Becoming one starts from courtship. You can skip primary school and succeed in secondary school. Couples should know that knowing each other's likes prevents offenses. Understanding each other's dislikes prevents bitterness. Agreeing on purpose prevents power struggle. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. Ephesians 4:3. Courtship teaches spouses how to live as one, that they may be one, even as we are one. John 17:21. Courtship is where love learns wisdom. The billionaire who rushed love and married his ruin. There was a man known in the city as Chief Adiyami. His name opened doors. His signature moved billions. Contracts followed him like shadows, and men bowed not because he was tall, but because his wealth spoke loudly for him. At 42, he had everything except a wife. Women admired him. Families prayed for him. But Chief Adeyemi was a man in a hurry. He believed one dangerous philosophy. When a man has money, he does not need long courtship. Money settles character. So when he met Amara, a beautiful, soft-spoken woman with gentle smiles and excellent manners, he did not ask deep questions. He did not observe her under pressure. He did not test her temperament. He skipped the season where love is examined. In 2 weeks, he paid her bride price. In 2 weeks, they went to court. In 2 weeks, they stood at the altar. No patience. No discernment. No waiting. The first month shocked him. Amara was a wonderful wife. She cooked well. She kept the house clean. She respected him in public. She woke early and slept late. But she had a fearful anger. When anger came, it was not normal. It was possession-like. Her eyes changed. Her voice deepened. Her hands shook. She would smash plates, break chairs, throw objects. Afterwards, she would cry, kneel, and apologize, saying, "I don't know what came over me. It just left me." Within 1 month, they had changed their television twice. Plates became disposable items. The house looked like a battlefield disguised as a mansion. Before they got married, Chief Adeyemi's pastor visited him and spoke carefully. "Son, go back and pray again. I am not settled in my spirit about this relationship." But the billionaire laughed after his pastor had gone. He told his friends, "Pastors exaggerate everything. A woman only misbehaves when a man can't pay bills. My wife-to-be will lack nothing. They laughed together and mocked spiritual caution, all these pastors' self. Little did he know after marriage, he didn't just married to a woman. He was housing a storm. Amara became pregnant. One afternoon, something small happened, so small it should have ended in a conversation. But anger rose again, stronger, darker, uncontrollable. She began to shake violently. Chief Adeyemi begged her to calm down. Instead, she walked into his private office inside the house. She opened a cabinet. She picked a file. Inside that file were signed contracts, worth billions of naira deals, waiting for execution, partnerships not yet announced. In her rage, she tore the file to pieces. She walked back to him calmly and dropped the shredded papers at his feet. The man looked. He screamed once and collapsed. He was rushed to the hospital and lay unconscious for 2 days. When he woke up, he asked, "What happened to me?" They lied to protect him. At home days later, he went to his office to review documents. He searched for the file. It was gone. Memory returned. He collapsed again. This happened 4 times. Doctors advised rest abroad. While he was away, his wife packed her things and fled, afraid he might kill her when he fully understood what she had done. By the time Chief Adeyemi returned, it was too late. The contracts were gone. Investors withdrew. Partners moved on. Confidence vanished. The man who once commanded billions became poor. Sitting alone one evening, broken and gray, he said with tears, "If I had listened to my pastor, if I had waited, if I had known her in courtship, I would not be here." Money cannot cure character. Marriage does not cast out demons. Love without discernment is dangerous. Courtship is not a waste of time. It is a life-saving season. He who hastens with his feet sins. Proverbs 19:2. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Proverbs 4:23. Many marriages are suffering today, not because love failed, but because courtship was skipped. What you refuse to settle in courtship, you will pay for in marriage. What you ignore today may destroy tomorrow. Courtship is where 2 lives submit to God's order. Disorderliness in marriage is failure of courtship. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Psalm 127:1. One of the deepest sweetnesses of courtship is spiritual agreement. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua 24:15. In courtship, couples agree. Who owns our life? Who owns our resources? Who directs our future? The story is told of Bishop David Oyedepo, who asked his wife to sign an agreement that Jesus is Lord of all, meaning Jesus owns everything they have, and any time he asks, they will release it. That agreement produced peace, clarity, and divine backing today. Honor the Lord with thy substance. Proverbs 3-9. When Jesus owns the marriage, arguments reduce. When courtship is done God's way, marriage becomes peaceful, not perfect, but purposeful. Courtship is the sweetness of agreement before marriage. Courtship is not a stage for pretending. It is a season for revelation, with truth and mercy. When a man says, "This is my weakness," and a woman replies, "I will pray with you, not use it against you," sweetness is born. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that they may be healed. James 5:16. Courtship allows weaknesses to be discussed before they become weapons after marriage. Love covereth all sins. Proverbs 10:12. A marriage where weaknesses were hidden during courtship will struggle in openness. But where weaknesses were understood, patience flows naturally. Courtship is where two visions submit to one order. A man may have a ministry. A woman may also be called by God. But in marriage, God does not create two heads. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church. Ephesians 5:23. God did not call a wife to lead her husband, but to work with her husband. I will make him an help meet for him. Genesis 2:18. During courtship, agreement must be reached on. Direction, authority, order. A woman's ministry does not die in marriage, it finds structure. When a woman references her husband as the general overseer of the home, peace reigns. Submit yourselves one to another in the fear of God. Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. Ephesians 5:22-23. Submission is not inferiority, it is alignment. No marriage stands strong where the woman is leading the husband. Leadership inversion creates confusion. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. 1 Corinthians 14:33. Courtship is where this understanding is lovingly settled. How courtship help a couple. A man and a woman, both successful business people, met in courtship. The woman does not compete. She complements. She does not dominate. She cooperates. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor. Ecclesiastes 4-9. She brings her business under the vision of her husband, not to lose it, but to strengthen the family structure. Both of them worked as one and achieved greater results because of the power of courtship. Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Matthew 12:25. Outcomes of lack of courtship. Amara was a lively woman. She knew how to talk, how to gist, how to joke, and how to play with her man. Conversation was her language of love. But her husband didn't enjoy it. Whenever Amara talked too much or tried to joke with him, he would say, "You are disturbing me. I need peace." Over time, Amara felt rejected, not because she was wrong, but because she was misplaced. The Bible says, "Two are better than one," but woe to him who is alone when he falls. Yet, even in marriage, one can still feel lonely if the place of courtship is ignored. One day, Amara got a new job. She met David, the man who interviewed her. David noticed her intelligence, her confidence, and her free-flowing communication. David had always desired a woman who could talk, laugh, and reason with him, and Amara had always desired a man who loved her voice. The Bible says, "Pleasant words are like a honeycomb, sweet to the soul." Proverbs 16:24. Soon, David started staying back late at the office. Meetings became longer. Conversations became personal. Laughter filled empty rooms. What Amara's husband called disturbance, David called delight. What David lacked at home, Amara supplied naturally. The Bible warns, "The lips of the forbidden woman drip honey, and her speech is smoother than oil." Proverbs 5-3. Not because Amara was Evie, but because emotional needs were being met in the wrong place. One evening, while talking, their hands touched. At first it seemed accidental. Later it became intentional. A hand held too long. a look that spoke desire, a moment that crossed boundaries. The Bible says, "Flee youthful lusts." 2 Timothy 2:22. But lust does not always start in the body. It often starts in unmet emotional needs. Suddenly, guilt struck both of them. They realized the painful truth. They did not marry bad people. They married incompatible partners. They pulled back before it became adultery, shaken and broken. The Bible says, "Can a man take fire to his chest and not be burned?" Proverbs 6:27. Courtship is not seeing each other alone. It is observation each other also. The Bible says, "The prudent man foresees evil and hides himself." Proverbs 22:3. In courtship, talk deeply. Observe patterns. Study temperaments. If one person loves conversation and the other loves silence, if one calls attention love and the other calls it disturbance, don't ignore it. If you are not compatible, separate maturely. Do not marry out of pity. Do not marry because of pressure. Do not marry hoping someone will change. It is better to end a relationship early than to invite temptation into a lifelong covenant, because marriage without compatibility creates emotional hunger, and emotional hunger attracts dangerous substitutes. What is not patiently discovered in courtship will be painfully endured in marriage. Love is not proven by speed, money, or pressure. It is proven by time, truth, and tested character. Courtship is God's wisdom room, where intentions are examined, values are revealed, and emotions are disciplined. When it is ignored, marriage becomes a classroom of tears, regrets, and avoidable battles. Many pains people are crying over today are not spiritual attacks. They are consequences of rushed decisions. If you are single, slow down and ask the right questions. If you are dating, don't rush what must be revealed. And if you are married, there is hope. Subscribe, like, and share. Let's raise a generation that marries right, not just fast.